our client came out of the gate with 15 spots filled to his coaching program, and he wants to get the next one to $5,000, potentially $10,000. So if I was to do this over again, this is exactly what I would do. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Creator's Lunch Table. And today we're going to be talking about how to start a coaching business that can do $10,000 plus per month, $100,000 a year. And we're going to be walking through that. But what we're really going to be doing also is breaking down how this just happened, not just for us, which we can talk about that, but also one of our clients inside of our Steady Leads Accelerator cohort. And he literally followed our strategy to a T.
Literally, yeah.
And he sold out his group coaching. Didn't have anything, by the way. Sold it out in 16 hours. And now he's got a wait list for the next one. And he wants us to help him take that and bring it up in more income that he's going to generate from the next one and scaling it. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today. So if you are listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, but I'm not a coach, maybe you are. Maybe you are. And maybe if you're watching this or listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm just a YouTube channel. How do I coach people? It's actually the fastest way to get to making money from YouTube, if we want to be honest. So where do you want to start with this?
I think we got to start with just the message we got from Darsh, which was, hey guys, I got a crazy win for you. And this was in the cohort, right? He's a crazy win for you guys. I just launched my first ever cohort, and within 16 hours sold all 15 spots out. All 15 spots out. And the crazy thing is, you know, a lot of people, you just said earlier, like you could be a coach on YouTube. Depending on whatever niche you're in, there's an opportunity to be a coach, right? You know what his niche is? Well, I mean, you do, but they don't. Pokemon. Training Pokemon online.
Not just cards, though.
No, we're not talking the cards.
I thought at first it was cards.
No, he's talking about like the gaming aspect
which
of it.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. So that's what he does, and he did a cohort, his first one ever. And here's the other thing we didn't even say. He only has about 400 people on that email list right now.
I think he might be up to 600.
Is he up to 600 now?
I think so.
Okay, but still,
I think he launched with like 500.
Under 1,000 though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Under 1,000. Sold out in 16 hours.
And the channel is probably only 6 to 8 months old.
Yeah, not old, or not. Yeah, not that old. I'm trying to think how many subscribers he has. Few thousand, but nothing crazy.
No.
But absolutely killing it right now. And he's only week 3. Now we're in week 4 or 5 in the cohort. But that was from week 2. He started getting that out there. And you know, the first thing after he got it, number 1, he's super excited. But number 2, he was like, you know, how do I? This is great. You know, made $3,000 like that. How do I scale this though to I want to make 5 a month, you know, and then potentially 10, which is where we're talking about.
Which I would be shooting for 10. I think he can get to 10, and we'll actually unpack that because he wants us to help him, which by the way, in the cohort, this wasn't even the main thing in the cohort that we're doing. In the cohort, we are teaching business owners, 10 of them, by the way, how to install our Steady Leads Flywheel, which is what we've been able to do on this channel, which, by the way, little fun fact here, this channel has done over $115,000, and a good portion of that is from coaching. All right. So we are actually practicing what we're preaching. And so the crazy thing is like these people came in because they're like, we want to get steady leads in our business. And that was our promise, right? We're going to help you install our flywheel system into your business. And the thing is he was kind of already doing it by watching our free content. Then he comes in and then he's like, oh, I want to launch a group coaching program for Pokemon. And I'm like, okay. And so I did originally, we had created a little program called 10K Launch, which we documented how we did exactly what he just did. We actually documented how we generated, actually it was more than 10K. It was like on just 15, under 15K. Right? From launching our first program, in one of our first programs inside of our live video school. And I documented everything. And I took all the emails. I took how I pre-sold it. I did all of that stuff, which we're going to unpack in this, because I want you guys to walk away with the strategy, and maybe you can go out there and deploy it, or you just understand that there's power in that.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah, so So with that whole launch and the lead up, right, it obviously starts from the leads first, right? Getting those leads to come in so that way we can end up selling to a list, right? And after we're giving them all that value. So for Darsh in particular, okay, when he started, I mean, he's been watching our free content for probably 5 months.
From the beginning.
Because I remember.
No, I think he said from the beginning, but he was in another niche.
Yeah, and I remember him, commenting all the time. He loved our content, this. And this is what, and I wanted to bring that up because here's the thing too, is a lot of people think, oh, I just want to get people in. I want to sell them the next day, right? We didn't know we were going to ever work with Darsh. We just knew he was someone who commented on our videos, right? We built a relationship with him to where maybe 4 months down the road, he got one of our things. Maybe it was the freebie. Maybe it was whatever, right? He got into our ecosystem, right? Oh, what these guys are talking about works. Let me try something else that they got, right? Next thing you know, he's in our coaching cohort, right? So it's like it led to that. And I think that's a big point that we try to make with these leads that we get is doesn't matter if you get a lead from 8 months ago or now, that person can still be a potential client of yours.
It's a perfect example. And I was talking to you about this morning, actually, through a little Voxer message, which was basically, and I've been hearing this a lot. I actually interviewed Greg Hickman. Shout out to Greg on the podcast for last episode was with Greg. If you guys missed that, you're going to want to check that out because he talks about, number one, how he doesn't get a ton of views. He might get 1,000. Sometimes he had 1 or 2 that got maybe like 30 or 40,000, but very few. And the ones that got less views actually earned him more money.
It's crazy.
He actually has one video under 3,000 views and it's made him over $85,000 because of the leads that it brought in, which brings up, there's a lot of people talking out there with AI and how it is hurting trust. So it's kind of what they're kind of saying is like, we're in a trust recession. So we're in like a financial recession. We're in a trust recession, meaning trust is on an all-time low.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what is real and what isn't real. And did you write that yourself? Did you not write that yourself? Is that you on video or is that an AI, avatar? Yeah. Don't know. And so when Greg was, and when him and I were talking, he was like, do you realize that, and he's heard some studies, 5 to 7 hours is what someone needs to consume of your content before they actually trust you. 5 to 7 hours. So with that being said, the videos that we were putting out, Darsh found one, let's say 11 months ago. He watches a video. We come back another week, sees another video. He might join the email list back then and download our 100K roadmap, which, guys, if you want to download the 100K roadmap, which will go through this entire process, just put 100K down below and we'll send you a copy. It's like 18 pages. And that's what he followed. He actually printed it out. And he printed out his own because he created one because that's what we teach inside of there.
Yeah, he's literally like modeling everything to a T, but it works.
But it works.
And you know what he said? And maybe we'll have to put a screenshot up of what he said. He literally said, guys, I'm literally following the exact framework and what these guys are preaching works. It works, guys. He's like, I love everything they're doing. And I like even the banner art is almost exactly the same, just in his niche. And we're telling him to do it. Hey, go for it. I mean, you're in a totally different niche. I don't care what you do. Matter. You know, it doesn't matter. It's still going to work.
Right. And so, going back to the trust piece. So Darsh followed us and he didn't buy anything from us, but he went ahead and started taking action. And side note, I've had people like years ago, some of you may or may not know, but I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure brands. And one of them was in e-commerce, teaching people about Amazon. And I had one guy that reached out and he said, I watched all your free content for over like a year and a half. And I built a business, an e-commerce business, and I exited it for 7 figures because of your free. And he felt like he wanted to pay me back. He said, where can I wire you some money? And I was like, nah. And I was like, you don't have to do that. It's not a big deal. And he goes, no, I want to. I want to wire you $10,000. And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, okay, that's awesome, but I don't feel right taking it for whatever reason. So I said, I'll tell you what, send it to me. I'll make a donation. And he's like, cool. So he wired me $10K, and I went ahead and I donated it to a charity that your mother and I are a fan of. So anyway, that to be said, someone could be watching, someone could be taking action, but they might not reach out, right? But you're building trust.
Yeah.
And I think that is something where you're going to hear us talk a lot about that coming up, because these videos that might not be getting a lot of views, like we actually took a hit on our views because we switched niches, like we pivoted.
However, made more money though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my thing is like now, instead of just looking at the view count, we have assets in our business that when we're sending an email out to our list, we can send them to a video. What happens there? Let's say that video is 8 to 10 minutes. That's 8 to 10 minutes worth of that 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah,
what if they're on a live stream? We go sometimes 90 minutes on a live stream. That's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And some people stay from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So here's what I want people to understand. Stop thinking about how am I going to make money and think about how you're going to build trust with an audience. Okay. And then everything else will happen. But let's get into the coaching.
Yeah. And I want to get into that with Darsh. So the big thing for this whole episode is mainly about, number one, his win, but number two, what he asked last week, which was, guys, this was great. This was amazing. I never expected it would be this quick.
Yeah.
I'd get this, right? I'm already ready to scale. How do I scale? Right? Well, first advice we said before anything, before any strategy, we said, you need to give the most value to these 15 people you brought in. Because right now, and I want you to think about this, this is very important, especially if you're starting a coaching business. When you start out, you need to build, you're selling to other people at that point. You're trying to get people in. You're trying to sell them, okay? After you do your first one and you get some wins in there, they're selling it from now on.
100%.
Testimonial.
Look at us right now.
It's a testimony. Yeah. Right now we have people coming to us because they see other people saying, oh, you got to try this. Or look what I just had. I just had a win. Darsh just had a win. Now they're like, oh, maybe that could be me, right? We don't have to sell it to you. They're selling it for us. All of our clients, they sell it for us. And so once you start, that first for him, it's 15. He needs to give them the world. Right?
He needs to get them to win.
If they win, and then they shoot a little video for him or a little text blurb or whatever of how well it helped. Now, when people go down and they see that, they're like, I trust this guy more because he has other people that are coming in. They're all from all over, and they're all interested in what he's doing. And they won. I want that same effect, right? So that's the first thing I think we told him is like, hey, listen, like, this is great. And yes, we want you to always think of the next thing. However, we need to, for the 6 weeks or however long he's doing it for, those 15 people are the most important people. You need them to win. Because if they win, you're going to win in the long run. Right?
You have to spotlight them. And that's actually, we're going to be doing that. So if you guys are paying attention to the channel, you're going to see that coming up, that we're going to be spotlighting. I'm actually going to have Darsh come on. And I'm going to make it available so people can ask him questions. And then from there, we can also unpack what he's done. But before we get into like the strategy that we went through and that I'm going to help him with, I'd like to get to what we titled this, how to start your coaching business to make 10K per month. And I think part of that strategy that we're going to share will help you get there. But let's just pretend right now, let's go back in time. You have Darsh and he just started. He didn't know what he was going to sell those people. Which I think that's what I want people to understand. You have to pick the niche. So again, we cover this in the 100K roadmap. If you want a copy of that, just put 100K down below. And I've got another resource in a little bit that will also help you get those leads. But the very first thing is getting specific on your niche. Now, if you already are in a niche, then we just have to figure out what is the one problem that you're going to solve for those people.
I think that's so big. And you know what I feel like a lot of these gurus out there and stuff, they say what we say, right? Follow the niche, right? However, what they don't say is what we're leaning into because we're doing the coaching model is help them solve a problem. Help your audience, help that niche, that specific, demographic, help them solve the problem.
What do we help people with?
Yeah, we help people get steady leads without using paid ads, leveraging YouTube. That's it.
That's basically
that's right. Like a nutshell of it. Yes, now, you can go more in depth, but the short version, we help people get steady leads without paid ads, and we use YouTube to do it.
And we could say, instead of that, we could say how to sell your first course and make $10,000. We could say that, but we're not.
We're not,
because we know the top priority for coaches, consultants, course creators is how do I get more leads?
Yep.
That's what you need to think of. Now, if you're coming into this brand new and you're thinking, well, I don't know how I would be a coach. Let's unpack Darsh for a minute.
Let's start it. Yeah.
Okay. So he starts with just putting content out there
Videos,
about Pokemon, the video version, not cards.
Yep.
Okay. So, which I didn't even know existed, by the way.
Digital version.
Didn't even know it was a thing.
TGC. Yeah.
Yep. So that was the thing. Okay. So he started doing that. Started getting a few views here and there, whatever, but he's following our advice. And he was like, okay, and this is before we actually got to coach him. He just took our free advice. All right. And now we have a resource that you guys are going to get your hands on here. So hang tight.
Yeah.
Because for him, it was a little bit harder. He had to kind of piece it together, kind of duct tape it together.
Yeah.
And so he did. And with that, he started collecting leads over time. So I would say 4 months, 5 months, he's collecting email addresses. Or maybe he started 2 months after. But his very first thing, because he followed that roadmap to a T, because he's done everything to a T.
Yeah.
Build the audience. Don't worry about how you're going to make money. Well, then you're going to be saying, well, Scott, I want to know how I'm going to make money. Don't worry about that right now. The one thing is the one problem that you solve, can you solve it? Have you done that for yourself?
Yeah.
So for Darsh, he actually didn't win the world championship or the.
No, I think he placed like 8th
He
or something.
qualified.
Or qualified, and then he placed 8th in something.
So there's like, and I didn't realize this, but there's like a Super Bowl of Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's a season kind of like NASCAR where there's different places that you go and all this stuff, right? So you have like the season, you have qualifiers, you have all of these different things, which is crazy to me. I've never heard of such a thing, right? And so the big one is out in Las Vegas, I think, and that's where he was. But he had gotten results. He had gotten results. He got further than most people. And so now he has something that he could offer people. He could help people get qualified or at least teach them what he did. If you're a bass fisherman, you can teach people how you've won a tournament. You've won tournaments. You have to have gotten the result. That's the key. You can't be a professor at college that sits there and says, this is how it works for other people. This is like the book version. It's got to be something you've done and helped someone with. We can do this because I've been doing this now for over 17 years. And I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses following this model and getting leads and turning that into sales and doing exactly what Darsh has done. So I've got the experience. But you can't come into this thing and go, I've seen this so much. I want to teach people how to grow on YouTube, but I've never grown on YouTube.
I know. So many people have done that with us. Yeah, it's funny.
I want to teach people how to fish, and I've never caught a fish.
Here's the thing, and this is where all right. There's 2 things about it. Yes, you need the experience of some sort, okay? But you don't, like Darsh, you didn't need to win it. You just need to be a little bit farther than someone. And we tell that to a lot of our clients is like, as long as you're a step or 2 ahead of someone else is going to want to learn from you because you're farther than them. And the other thing, going back to your trust aspect, is now that we are smaller channels right now and we're putting this out, we actually become more desirable to work with because we're on the same level as them. Where someone else is a million subscribers and they're getting all these views and they're making a lot of money because they have all this attraction go to their channel. But for us, it's like, we're showing you we don't even have a lot of views and stuff like that. We're still getting these results. You don't need that. We're just like you. We relate better on that level. And so that's something that early on I think will help. And I kind of want to go back to the beginning with Darsh. Okay, so started making videos. He started doing his lead magnet and all of that, right? My question to you is, and what would you recommend for someone if they're listening and they just started, they're posting videos, how soon do they create a freebie, a lead magnet of some sort, a free resource?
I would say try to do it as soon as possible. And I would say, even if, like, the first thing is you have to get your system in place really, as far as like, you got to, number one, know your niche. So that takes some time. But then from there, you want to understand like how to create videos. But I wouldn't let that stop me from starting to kind of like let the algorithm know what my channel's about. I would start doing that as soon as possible, but very soon after, I would say, let's get that lead magnet built, because I don't want that to bog you down. And that's why even people that are in our Steady Leads accelerator, they've already probably recorded some videos, which is fine. But now what we want to do is we want to create that lead magnet, and then we want them to go through our video formula, which actually there's a layer in there of adding the freebie in there in all of your. So if you might have noticed, like even in this podcast,
Yeah.
we've already made the note or the mention,
the CTA,
of like, hey, if you want that, go down below. Now, if you're listening to this, you can't do that. Just go to livevideoschool.com, go to that homepage, and you will see that there's an option there for you to get a free resource.
Yeah.
Go to livevideoschool.com. There you go.
Yeah.
So I just said that on the audio version. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, if you're listening to this on Apple, iTunes, like whatever. But I would say as soon as possible. But it doesn't. Here's the other thing. It doesn't have to be this major thing. It doesn't have to be a guide like we created. Our first one was just a swipe file.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people think it's got to be an ebook. It's got to be all these big things.
Doesn't have to be.
But literally, it could be a checklist. It could be a little PDF or something. And real quick, I just want to add a little story I had literally from yesterday. I was at a party or whatever, was talking to this one guy. He's doing a side hustle right now. He's doing upholstery, right, of leather. Says it's a hobby of his. He loves it. It's fun. But eventually, he's like, I would love to make.
But leather and doing what? Reupholstering? Like so, he would come in and my couch.
From scratch. Yeah.
So he would go in and if my couch has damage, he would fix it. Or he would just.
But right now, he's working on like the leather sheets of bikes.
Oh, okay.
Like stuff like that.
Okay.
Gloves.
Motorcycles? Okay.
So anyway, he loves it, right?
Yeah.
And he showed me his work. It was like pretty good. And he taught himself and all that, right? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I made a logo and all this, but I don't know really where to start besides that.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you gotta start making a YouTube video. And he's like, well, what do I was like, literally document what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a step ahead of someone, right?
I'm gonna go to livevideoschool.com.
Well, no, he follows our stuff. He'll probably see this. Shout out to him. But I told him, I was like, start doing that. And I was like, and then you just got to get people on an email list. You know what you're going to do? You're going to have either and I asked him, I was like, what's something you could give away that someone could replicate, right? And he's like, well, I could give them like the patterns I use, like the free patterns. And I was like, there you go. You have a little list or a PDF that has the different patterns they can use so they can, go replicate that.
So is he helping people start a business with leather upholstery, or is he helping people just, wants to get customers to do the upholstery?
So originally his thought was, if I was to do anything, I would hand do it myself. I said, well, how many hours did it take you to do that one, right? That he would have charged maybe $500, right? Took him almost a whole 50 hours.
Jeez.
I was like, he ain't making no money. I was like, the money's in the coaching. And I was like, if you could just coach people to get in what you're doing and then help them, that would be where it's at. So what I would do is I would help these people that already maybe have a business or something like that. They don't know, or not even a business, but that wanted to go into a business of that. I'd help them get to that point. Obviously, you have to do it first, though.
Yep.
So what I would do is, have a couple clients here and there, learn what you're doing,
right,
and then I'd give some of the free stuff away. But anyway, I thought it was funny how like now we think of everything as like a business opportunity,
right?
And I was talking to him, and I was like, one of the things is a lot of people think, oh, I'm just gonna make a product and then I'm just gonna sell it, right? The problem is, what do you have to always do? Refill that. You got to refill that with clients coming in. You're going to have some bad months and good months. And then that's where people get to the point, I don't have enough people. So what do they lean on? Ads. Okay, I'm going to go spend 10 grand in ads so that way I can get people in. Right? So it's like, that's where it can get really extreme and then stressful too at the same time. I feel like the coaching model is a little bit better.
It's not even, okay, so we're saying coaching model. It could be you could consult someone. So
when I say coaching, I mean one-on-ones, consultants, and or even course creators. That's even the same thing.
Right.
All of that.
Right.
And the reason I brought all of that up is because I feel like Darsh, he's already done this. Like he's got the lead mag. He's been getting the leads, like you said, maybe 600 emails, maybe 700.
No, he's 600. I think
600.
Last he checked. Yeah,
600, and still was able to sell that out. So not a big audience, right? But he had the right people.
Right.
And that's one thing I think we focus on more than a lot of people, where the ad people just put it out so we can get leads in.
Right.
But are they qualified leads?
Right.
Probably not. Are they warm?
Right.
I don't know. So it's like, that's where it's different. And that's why our approach is a little bit, again, might take a little bit of time because you got to build the machine or the flywheel, I should say. You got to build that flywheel up. But once you build that up, it's a game changer, because we have videos still to this day from 8-9 months ago getting leads coming in that we see 100K.
Or
hooks.
Someone's coming in and they're watching 3 videos and then getting the lead magnet on the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Right.
They're binging in the playlist or whatever.
Now remember, they're binging. That means they're getting hours of trust, right?
Yep.
We're getting the hourly trust thing that we need.
Yeah.
So with all that. So, okay, let's keep moving here.
Yeah.
So So
videos, Darsh posted videos. He did his lead magnet.
Building his email list.
Yep.
And that's when he joined our accelerator.
Yeah.
And then, we're talking about getting leads and we're helping him kind of like dial that in.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I need help launching this thing. Yeah. Like I'm in kind of a little bit of a crunch because there's this event coming up, which is going to be like kind of like the finale.
Yeah.
And then I want to help people prepare for the next one. So he's like, I've got like 4 weeks. So he was a little bit of in a crunch. So I gave him access to that 10K launch program that we created.
Yep.
He went through it, pretty much kind of cobbled it together, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time to sit there and just coach him every step of the way, but
Yeah.
he took it and ran with it. And he reported back that he sold out all 15 spots in 16 hours. I think he said he sent the email out, and within a few hours he had probably eight already sold. He woke up in the morning at 14, and he sent out one more email, and I think he got, and then he has a wait list now for the next one. So that's how he did it, right? But that's not really how he did it, because I didn't explain that really quickly, and I'll walk through this. We'll probably do a full episode on this and when we have him
with
on.
Darsh,
But basically, here's how it works. You basically ask people on your email list, should I do this? That's the subject line.
Raiser.
That's the hand raiser, right? Should I do this? Should we do this? Like whatever it is. Then inside of that, you explain what you're thinking about doing. And that's what he did. Should I do this? Opens up the email. I'm thinking about running a private 15-person only cohort where I'm going to help a small group of Pokemon players to qualify for the next big event or whatever. I would be meeting for 90 minutes every week. It would be I'd do Q&A, but I'd also walk you through my strategies, and you would walk away prepared. And I'll also even help your teams or something, because there's teams, I guess. And if you're interested in this, reply back yes. And then you get a sense of if people are interested. Now, they didn't pay anything. Okay. Now, mind you, we have not recorded anything. We have not prepared anything. All we're doing is trying to get a sense of, should I do this? And then you'll get a bunch of people. So I forget how many he had. He had at least 50 people probably reply. They said yes. Okay. Well, that's one thing, getting a yes. And now the next thing is you're going to come back and say, it's a go. You voted, something like that. And then inside it says, hey, I had an overwhelming response from a bunch of you that said you wanted me to do this thing that I mentioned the other day. And then you kind of like reiterate what it is and say, it's going to happen. I'm going to actually be posting the information, and I'm going to open enrollment on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So you're building up the anticipation. You're letting people know there's demand for this thing. And then you're going to go ahead and open it up. The next email, open, join, enroll in the Pokemon accelerator, or whatever. And then you have that in there and say, yep, it's going to happen. I announced it the other day. Here's the link to enroll. Here's what we're going to cover. And all the details are on the page. Can't wait to work with this amazing group of Pokemon players, right? And that's it.
And then the great thing for Darsh too, which he was able to do, is if you sell that out, then you put that email out there, sold out, and then you have a thing for your wait list.
You're right, but the one other powerful thing is like if you only have 3 spots left,
deadline.
That's the subject line there. Only
3
3 spots left. That's it. And then people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I've been sitting on the fence. I got to do this. Now there's other ways to make this even go faster, which I've done in the past. And we'll walk through that.
Yeah, give a brief.
So if you want to sell that out even faster, number one, the reason why he sold 8 tickets like right out of the gate, I say tickets, they're spots, right? They're enrollment spots. The reason why he sold them out is because he prepared them for the open. He didn't say, I'm going to open it up on Tuesday. He said, I'm going to open up on Tuesday at 9 a.m. There's only going to be a limited amount of spots, or there's 15 spots.
He did do, I don't know if you knew this, he messaged us in the coaching call the other day. He said he did do the first 5 as audits as well.
Okay.
That's what you were going to get to.
So then the other thing is you want usually a fast action bonus. And that fast action bonus for him was, I will do 5 audits of your team.
Your gameplay.
Or whatever, right? And so only for the first 5, because I'm gonna personally record a video for you. Right. So now people are aware of the fast action bonus. They know it's happening Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And then there's gonna be a bunch of people that are gonna want those 5 spots because it's a bonus.
And
right.
It's free.
And it's free.
Well, free, but
and it's a great thing. And so from there, that's where he added a little bit more urgency and scarcity because there's only a limited amount of spots.
Yep.
And so then from there, you see how you do, right? And then usually what's going to happen is selling out 15 spots in 16 hours is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Okay. But usually what's going to happen is you're going to open it up for like 4 days. And then you're going to remind people that it's either open or you might have a limited amount of spots. You might just have a limited time. It doesn't have to be like you only have 15 spots. It could be I'm opening here. There's a fast action bonus for the first 5. And then you're leaving it open. But the thing is the scarcity, the deadline is we're starting next week. We're starting on Thursday.
Yep.
So you need to enroll before Thursday if you want to be part of this cohort. Now, that's going to mean more people.
Yeah.
In his case, he wanted it to be exclusive, which exactly what we did for Steady Leads Accelerator.
Absolutely.
So that's the model.
And so how going into now, what we went through the whole thing where he's at now.
Yeah.
If you could go back and be hands-on with Darsh at this point, because he was ahead of the game for us.
Yeah.
But if we were there with him, what was the one thing we talked about in the coaching hall you would have added that probably would have doubled or tripled his revenue?
Yeah, easy. So, and this is what we're going to do. So number one, he did a fantastic job. So I'm a big fan of like ship it.
Yeah.
Right. Like just get it close and ship it. Meaning like, don't worry about it being perfect. The one thing I also want to say is, do you realize we also didn't create the product yet?
I was just about to say that. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
And do you know so many people spend months building their program?
Yeah.
And to find out that
doesn't sell.
Yeah. So I've done that a handful of times. And one time I got burnt and I said, I'll never do that again. So I always use this in some way, shape, or form. I'm pre-selling before I ever build. Okay. So that's a big takeaway.
Yeah.
All right. And so what I would do differently. All right. So Darsh came out of the gate. Our client came out of the gate with 15 spots filled to his coaching program. And he wants to get the next one to $5,000, potentially $10,000. So if I was to do this over again, this is exactly what I would do. So first off is I would create an order bump. So what is an order bump? We've all been at the supermarket. We're in our shopping cart. And you know, on the end caps, they always have gum or Snickers, or they got, protein bars, or they have like for the kids candy, right? That's a bump. Meaning you're like there already. You weren't planning on spending this thing, but you're like, I need some gum. I'm going to throw some gum in there, right? Now, a better example of that is grocery store is kind of like everything.
Yeah.
Let's say that we are into fishing. And let's say that we go to what's the Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, Bass Pro Shop.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Now you got me confused. Yeah, it's Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, it's Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say that I go to Bass Pro Shop. Basically, you're fishing and hunting. Those are the two things that's in there. So now I'm in there looking for a new fishing rod. I get the fishing rod. Now I go to the cashier, and now I see other fish related stuff. You see the difference there? So I've already raised my hand saying I'm buying fish catching stuff, right? And now there's also some more fish stuff that I might be on ad. So a perfect example of this is for us, okay? So what we've done in the past is we would have, it would be like, let's say that it's a program, 1K Collective. 1K Collective is a 4-week program where we would help people that were under 1,000, usually under 1,000 subscribers, under 4,000 watch hours, and they wanted to get to monetization. So it was kind of like that, but really it's about building that audience. In the checkout, they would say, yeah, I want it. Then there would be an option there to add a personalized audit. Okay. So the program might be $497, and then the bump generally going to be a little bit less because you need to make it almost not impulse, but almost where it's, or something that they would be like, wow, that's exclusive. I want that. And so we would offer a channel audit. So we would audit their channel and we would say limited spots. And so all they need to do is check a little box and to add that audit. And now all of a sudden their order went from $497 to an additional $297. So now we're talking like, what's that, $800
$800
from a $500 sale. So for Darsh, what I want him to do is I want him to come up with something that is an add-on that would either make it faster or make it easier. That's generally what you want for that bump.
Yep.
And so that's what we're going to do. So people are going to go there, and then they're going to have the option to do that. Normally, we're seeing conversion rates of 20 to 30% on that, which is high. Okay. So think about that. And I've done this several times.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. We always add, like if I had something that was $300 and I added a bump, I've always added probably an additional $3,000 to $5,000 from a bump.
It's crazy.
Okay. So that's the one thing you can do. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can offer a one-time offer. So then what would happen is they would go through the checkout, they would put their name and email address in, hit submit, and then it would say, hey, before you go, this is your typical funnel. Everybody's seen this, right? But it wouldn't be obnoxious. It'd be one other thing. Hey, I have a limited amount of spots of doing a one-on-one session. I only do a few of these. If you'd like one of those, and then you could say that one maybe is $497.
Yeah.
Right. But you're only going to get a smaller percentage. Some people are only going to get the very limited amount of people, but it's something that's a little bit more expensive. Usually that's the one-time offer. Now, I'm not sure if I would say for him to do that, but I would definitely say the bump, because the bump was the thing that he missed the last time.
Yeah.
All right. The other thing that I would probably say for him too is, and it's all going to depend on if he can support that many people, but I would probably bump it to 20 if he can do that, and he'll know after he does this one. But let's say that he can't. The one thing we're definitely going to do is raise the price.
If you sell out in 16 hours, that means your price was so good.
It means it was really, really good, and your demand was higher.
And the audience was, that was their spot. They're like, that's easy, right? So now what we talked about with him, it can be scary on your next launch, but you're just going to raise that price. So I think his was $197. So put it up to $297 and we'll see. Do you still sell out?
He will.
Are you still, I think he will too. Are you short a little bit? Okay. If you are, doesn't mean you have to lower your price back down. What it means is you might have to add one more thing to give it a little bit more value to it, right? And package it a little bit better. So there's different ways around that. For him to scale it, bump is number one right now, and raising that price on the initial.
That's the simplest and the fastest thing for him, is just add the bump, which really shouldn't take him. If he wants to do an audit, he can, or he just has to create something that's an additional resource. And a lot of times what we'll do is we've created like a workshop on a topic that is related to it. So I'll give you an example. We've done ones in the past called titles to views, right? So it's a more of a low ticket. So let's say it's $97. We had also did a scroll stoppers workshop one, and we might say, for like the bump, we might say, we'll give you, I don't know, 25% off, and we'll offer it for $75. And so now you're like 97, 75. It's related. If you're creating videos, you need a good title. That's what you're going to learn here, but you also need help with thumbnails. So it relates.
It relates.
Or it needs to be something that's going to make that even faster. So another great example for us is like, we've been creating these wizards for inside of our coaching program, these AI wizards. Well, we could offer a wizard onto something that would help them. So it's like, we could show you how to create like the perfect video, right? The perfect video formula. We could have an outline, everything. I could give you the wizard that we just created for our class. That is basically, it'll build out your title, your thumbnail concept, your outline, your bullet points, and your call to action at the end, literally in like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's good.
So we could literally use that now because it's already built. We've already created it. And it's just a sliver of what we give away inside of our Steady Leads Accelerator. But now that could be a very low ticket, but very easy lift, because now it does the work for them.
It's good too to have some of those be a lower ticket as well, if it's, it's like a no-brainer.
It's an impulse.
A lot of people are like, oh, it's only $50 more.
Yeah,
Get
it's
that.
the gum.
Yeah,
it's the Snicker bar.
You know what else it made me think of when you were saying all those analogies is even going into a liquor store. Once you go to the front, where they have the little shots, Fireball, yeah, they have the little shots for like a couple bucks, right? How many people buy those?
Oh yeah,
right?
Like throw a couple of them.
Yeah, just throw a couple of them in there, right? But they're getting, I mean, it's not a lot on there, but still they're getting something there.
It's something they wouldn't have gotten.
They wouldn't have gotten before.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to think about it. It's an add-on, and they call it a bump, and that's generally going to be on that same page. And so that really, really works. So to recap here.
Let's go through the whole thing.
So Darsh is basically going to repeat what he did, but we're going to plug a few of those holes in the bucket there, right? And so we're going to do a little bit of a better job of that. But we're also at the very end, he wasn't really prepared to have a wait list ready. So we're going to make sure that that's done. And then we're going to start building up anticipation a little bit earlier. And then we're going to make sure that our five fast action bonuses are there.
Yep.
And then we have to make sure that that bump is in place. And then we're just going to rinse and repeat. And the cool thing is because he's already went through this, he's going to be able to just kind of like, I don't want to say copy and paste, but almost.
Just change a couple
You're just changing it up to where you are right now or something that's happened. You can probably also start to get some wins from your class and then start highlighting those.
He already did. He took our advice again and took a screenshot of his group. And he already sent an email out saying, oh, hey, we're here with our first cohort, whatever, had a great first meeting or whatever, and super pumped or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we did the same thing because now it shows, oh, wow, he did fill it out. He's legit, you know, like 15 people bought those spots or whatever. So it's also cool to highlight those as well because now that brings the authenticity as well and just what's the word I'm looking for? That I guess that it's real, like that he really did that. He's just not just lying. Yeah, the proof. Thank you. Proof. It's the proof, right? Because everyone wants to see proof,
right?
And I think overall, going into his next launch, I think he's gonna crush the next launch.
We'll see. We'll report back.
He just needs to focus on these 15 and get some wins out of there.
So listen, steady leads. That's what we've been talking about, right? We have a resource.
We do.
We have a free resource where we taught our steady leads flywheel to a small group of coaches in a private call. And we actually documented everything. We gave everyone the exact flywheel that we're teaching in our program. If you would like that, if you'd like to get access to that, just comment leads down below. Once again, comment leads down below, and we'll send that to you. And we might even throw a little gift in there for you. We've got a little something extra that you might get in there. So just check that out. I did want to say, though, here real quick, and this is us just talking amongst ourselves, is now that Darsh has gotten these results, and now that we've had some of our other members go, hey, do you have the emails? I'd like to swipe those emails. And I never took I shared all the emails, but I shared them in videos. And I didn't go through and like get them all.
Like a doc of all of them.
So now what I've done, and I'm getting ready to, which they're all going to get access to, and anybody else that's in our upcoming cohorts is going to get this because they're going to get the 10K launch system because now this is like going to be something we're going to talk about, right? So what I'm building now behind the scenes is I'm building a wizard that literally is going to be for someone like Darsh that says, hey, do you have those swipe copies? And I'm going to create it where it's going to create a 5 email sequence, a 7-day sequence, or a 10-day sequence. And now all they got to do is go ahead and start punching in the information as if I was writing it with them. And at the end of it, it's going to basically spit it all out.
That's crazy.
And it's following everything that I taught in the 10K launch and all of the emails that I shared that worked for me to sell $15,000 in a launch. And so that's going to be a huge resource. So now what's that going to be worth? Right? But we're going to give it away inside of our cohort. Which, so if you're a coach, a course creator, a consultant, and you've been hearing us talk a lot about this cohort, we do work with business owners. You do have to be someone that is in business. All right. And because what we want to do is we want to help you really get more attention on your business by using the Steady Leads flywheel, but also inside of there, which we've realized is we're also helping them turn those leads into sales. And that's exactly what we did here with Darsh. So I think that's a good wrap here on this episode. And I'm sure you're going to find another episode that's going to pop up where you can actually, you can learn a little bit more about what we do and maybe about how you can get some leads in your business or how you can get your videos out there more. All right. So guys, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, remember, we're here for you.
Believe in you.
We're rooting for you.
But you have to.
You must say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action.